Side of the Jaguars, Fred Taylor, bring you highlights and analysis from today's game. Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC, is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, to get things started, here's JP Shadrick.
Welcome in. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score in Week 5, the Texans over the Jaguars for the 9th consecutive meeting. Texans 13, Jaguars 6. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor with us in studio. Plenty to get to. We'll hear from Doug Pederson coming up. Bucky Brooks is standing by near the Jaguars locker room. Well, a field goal fest early, 6-6 game at halftime. Lawrence throws an interception in the red zone to begin the second half on the opening drive. The Jaguars couldn't get much of anything else done. And then on defense, in a key moment, there was a 3rd and 20 play, an offside by Trayvon Walker, and then he threw the quarterback to the ground on the dead play to get a personal foul to move the sticks. 12 plays on that drive, and Pierce goes in for a 1-yard touchdown to give Houston the lead and ultimately the win today. Oh, Fred, this one's tough to take. The Jags are now 2-3. It's the first win of the year for Houston.
JP, Mike, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Everything you said, JP, I mean, you pretty much summed it up right there. Low-scoring affair early on. Man, it's hard to really find something good to say. Second half, going back, the defense pretty much they played well in the first half. Third down defense was pretty good. Run defense was okay. But just to get here in the fourth quarter, they wait till the fourth quarter to implode. As you mentioned, Trevor, I think that might have been the worst play of his entire young career. You got to take the one. You got to have awareness, knowing where you are. Take the one. Worst case, you reset first down from the 6-yard line of Houston. And then that play that Walker made right there, just a bonehead play by both of our number ones over the last 2 years. Those are unacceptable.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of the boneheaded stuff this year.
No,
either, right? The undisciplined stuff. I mean, that is an unconscionable play. Okay, so you're offsides. It's 3rd and 15. Get them off the field. You just give them the first down there. And, I mean, the tackling or lack thereof on Dameon Pierce in the second half, Fred, I thought was incredibly disappointing as well.
What, did he break 6 tackles in that one play inside the 20?
Yeah, he did. But, looking at him, I'm like, this guy, I didn't see a lot of that at Florida.
Didn't use him.
He got in the NFL. Now he looked like almost like he's a Heisman-type back. And, I was like, all right, guys get lucky. Guys have a few nice runs here and there. I wasn't sure if he was the real deal, but he proved to me today that he has what it takes to play on his level. And our defense allowed him to pretty much carve them up.
Just put a shock collar on me and just use it anytime I pick this team to beat the Texans until they prove it. I mean, seriously, how stupid are we to keep picking this team? Not only to pick them to beat the Texans, they're going to beat them by 2 touchdowns. That's me talking, right? Like, I mean, the Texans team, they're looking at it like, Fred, it's alumni weekend. They're going to have it's homecoming. We're their homecoming opponent.
Yeah.
And we've beaten them 8 times in a row, and they came in here and stole their lunch again.
Mike, 0-3-1, to me, looking at it, looks worse than 0-4. That's how bad I thought the Texans were, just looking at their record. But they, somehow they find a way. I just told you in the hallway, Davis Mills. Who would have thought? He's 3-0 versus Trevor Lawrence. But, sometimes teams have your number. Go back to 99. I hate to think about it. I still think we were better than that Titans team, but they were a better team.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, final score today, 13-6, Texans over the Jaguars. Final numbers for Trevor Lawrence today, 25 of 47, 286 through the air. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Lawrence ran 4 times for 29 yards in this game. Yeah, not enough. That red zone interception is going to come back to haunt him, I think. And as you said, Fred, he just didn't see Stingley, I don't think. I mean, Stingley was kind of coming off the right.
I get it. I certainly get that. But here I am, knowing the situations. I have high-level IQ type player. We all crown him that, right? So, I mean, it's 2nd and 1.
Yes.
There's no need at all, no matter how you carve it up, to even throw the ball.
Don't risk
You
it.
were right at the mark to make first down, to extend the drive. Now you have 3 more plays, maybe 4 plays, because we know Coach Pederson isn't shy about going for it on fourth down. So you're giving yourself an opportunity to get a fresh new set of downs with maybe 6 yards. I think if he would have passed the 7, he should have been at least to the 6 or the 5. But you just have to allow your situational awareness to kick in right there. Take the 1, reset it, and then give yourself another opportunity as opposed to forcing it as he did.
He did, and you wonder if, Fred, as the game goes on, you're coming off the game last week, okay, you know what, we're going to get in better conditions, we're going to show them this offense is going to click, and then you're kind of stymied, and the passing game isn't there, and your connection with Christian Kirk isn't like it was in the first 3 weeks of the season, and you wonder if Trevor Lawrence almost, I don't think it's this simple, but gets in his head the idea that, all right, this one we're sticking in the end zone, we're going to show them, like, you can't throw it hard enough to score 3 touchdowns on one play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems like he was trying to make up for the lack of offense there. But whatever the reason, man, you can't have it, and you just can't go scoreless in the second half against this team. This is the team that Indy came back and put up 17 in the fourth quarter on in week 1, and we know how bad their offense has been throughout most of the season. This is just one of the most disappointing losses in years to me, as I told you, Fred, before we came on, because there's finally expectations now for this team. We thought they had the group of players that were going to meet them against this level of competition. But, what I don't want to hear, and Fred is allowed to say anything he likes 23 years after the fact. He could say anything about the 99 team versus the Titans. I don't want to hear anything about we're the better team, we beat ourselves. Sorry, that's not the way it works in the NFL. We don't vote on this. You're 2-3. The Texans just came into your house and beat you. Today, you were not the better team than the Houston Texans. And, willing to give them the benefit of the doubt last week in bad conditions. But if you're going to talk like that, you got to come back and back it up, and they didn't do it.
Final score today, 13-6. Texans improved to 1-3-1 on the season. The Jaguars are now 2-3, and we'll come back. Coming up, the locker room report. Bucky Brooks standing by. We'll hear from head coach Doug Pederson coming up as well. A little later, the highlights from the game. Unfortunately, a Jaguars loss today in week number 5. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose from between a couple of response channels, from direct mail to landing pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars fall in Week 5, 13-6 the final. Texans get their first win of the season and the 9th straight win over the Jaguars, who fall to a record of 2-3 on the year. The Jags struggling on offense today, obviously, with only 6 points, and both those field goals coming in the first half. Trevor Lawrence throws a red zone interception into the end zone, intercepted by Stingley, and then the Texans cash in a touchdown after a personal foul penalty on Trayvon Walker on a 3rd and 20 play. Kept the drive alive, 12 plays, 74 yards, and nearly 7 minutes, and Pierce in from a yard away to give the Texans the lead and ultimately the win today. All right, so let's get into the defense a little bit here, Fred. As you mentioned, the first half, they're getting off the field. Houston 3 and out, 21-yard drive, a punt, 22-yard drive, punt. They give up a 50-yard field goal and a 51-yard field goal, and that's a really good first half of work. Then in the second half, backed up from their own 2-yard line, the Texans get off the away from their own goal line. They go 12 plays and have to punt it away, a 3 and out, and then that long drive really was the backbreaker there when really they had played a pretty good game on defense most of the day except for that long drive for the Pierce touchdown.
Yeah, JP, just looking at it all, man, the defense played fairly decent in the first half. As you mentioned, the Texans were 0 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. Somehow they eventually make it 5 for 8, there in the second half. And the weirdest thing to me as I look at, these stats here, and I know you guys are going to go over them, the Jaguars totally dominated in the stat column.
Oh, yeah.
Rushing, passing, total yardage, the entire thing, percentage on 3rd down. But, again, red zone has come back to hunt them, as well as 4th down conversions or lack thereof. Then I want to toss it over to the penalties.
Yes.
Just those key penalties in those situations is really the biggest thing that's hunt them. That interception in the red zone right there at the goal line, as well as the big penalties. The Trayvon Walker penalty. I like to also include the Jawan Taylor penalty right there. Even though they got 3, it's just still a bonehead penalty that eventually leads to frustrations and all those sorts of things. I don't know. Offense has to help the defense out, when they play a game and keep those guys under the mark from a yardage standpoint. The offense has to find a way to put points on the board.
And it's easy to tally the mistakes when you're counting turnovers and penalties, but you got to count all those missed throws early on.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is just off target again early in the football game. He can't seem to get in rhythm quickly. And I don't know, Fred, 3-4 opportunities to convert first downs and keep drives going and keep that defense off the field even longer. I mean, the Jags outgained the Texans 422 to 248 today. To only put up 6 points in those conditions. I mean, it wasn't just the turnovers that show up in the stat column. It's those missed passes on 3rd down that kill you too.
Right, I agree with you there. And a few guys didn't help him early on. Zay Jones had a 39 drop on the first drive of the game. You mentioned the overthrow to Jones, had a few other overthrows in there. He was definitely off sync. Even ETN dropping balls in the flat right there. So it's just a combination of bad play across the board.
Doug, could you just start with your evaluation of Trevor and why you think that he had trouble getting going today?
I think. Can we turn this down? I think that we've got to, as a staff, we got to figure out a way to kind of get him settled into the game. Number one, and then obviously, Trevor has to, make sure that he's in a good spot. And, thing is, he sees everything, he sees the field well. We just got to continue to, keep throwing, and keep putting him in situations like that. He's going to get better. He will get better. I'm not worried about that at all. We have a lot of faith and trust in him, and he can definitely, do the job. We've seen it, this season. So we just got to keep working on it.
And what was your perspective on Trevor's interception in the end zone?
Well, I think he would tell you, and I'm going to tell you, you just can't do that, that deep in the red zone like that. And it was just unfortunate, turnover right there. Just can't do it when when you're about to score.
Where does Trayvon Walker's ragdoll throwdown there rank in terms of maybe even all the boneheaded mistakes you've seen guys do?
Again, it's just those are unacceptable. Plays that come up, and I keep telling the guys that a game usually comes down to 3 to 5 plays, and you just never know which ones are going to be those plays. And Trevor's interception late, that penalty late in the game like that. I mean, those are hard to overcome. Just again, they're all valuable lessons for us as a staff to teach and correct and a lot like the week before, Tyson, running into the kicker in Philly, and just those are all moments where, we can't take things, upon ourselves. We just gotta go do our jobs.
Did Trayvon apologize in the locker room after the game or anything like that?
I don't know.
Doug, do you have a good sense when you walk out there on game day after the last week what you're going to get out of Trevor?
I do. I really do. I feel comfortable and confident. He always has a good week of preparation. And he's always in a good spot. And so I feel good. When we go out there and the way we start the game and the openers and and just again it's just how we start. And that's part of the quarterback too. Getting him comfortable and settled down into the game to where he can get himself into a rhythm.
Is he being too aggressive at times and not taking some of those shorter throws to check down?
Well, I mean, this was a if you're looking at the game, this is it was a cover 2 game today by Houston, and they played extremely well. That's a staple of Lovie Smith, and their defense played it extremely well. There are some opportunities, as checkdowns, but at the same time, until I go back and watch this game, it's hard to say. If a couple of times we did try to check it down, we dropped them too. So there's some plays being left out on the field.
Hey, Coach. We know what type of defensive mind Lovie Smith has been in this league for a very long time. What did he present specifically to you guys today that made it so difficult, and especially in terms of converting on 3rd down and in the red zone?
Yeah, he's he comes from the traditional 4-3 style of defense, playing that cover 2, the old Tampa Bay scheme back in the day, and he's got his guys flying around. That's what that's what I saw on tape all week. This is a guy or a team that plays extremely hard. A lot like our guys. I mean, they play extremely hard. And a style of defense where those guys they're executing it well, and you got to look at their 5 games now, or their 4 games leading up to this. I mean, they were pretty much in every football game, and with chances to win. So this is a good football team that came in here, and I still believe we're a good football team, and it just comes down to execution and just understanding. Where you need to be on any given play.
Hey, Coach, how do you help a young quarterback develop consistency? You've seen the highs for 2 weeks in a row, and then now you're seeing kind of lows for back-to-back weeks. How do you help Trevor? You
keep working. You don't pull back and you don't add on. You just keep working every single day. That's the only way you get through it. And we've got a lot of confidence in him and trust in him, and he's our guy, and we're gonna keep working through it. We're gonna work through it together, and he'll be better down the road for it.
Hey Doug, it seemed like Travis was having a pretty good first half, I think around 60 yards. What happened in the second half? Why wasn't he able to get the ball in his hands a little bit more? And would you have liked to see the run more aggressively rather than passing?
Yeah, that's on me. Play caller. Got to call more plays to him. But yeah, we'll figure that out.
How much can that take off the pressure in terms of Lawrence? When he's having that kind of day, how much can having that run game take the pressure off of him?
Sure. I mean, you run the ball, it can take the pressure off your whole team. Yep.
Hey, Coach, also in reference to the running game again, you had some good success with that in the first half, especially in that second quarter. What made you kind of go away from that in the second half, or was it something that they adjusted to at halftime?
That's on me. I got to call more runs.
Doug, in terms of other than Trayvon Walker's penalty, what did you see out of your defense? It seemed like a pretty strong effort from that group.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they played well. Gosh, that long drive they had, there were some missed tackles on that one, but I thought overall, kept us in the football game, and did some nice things. There's still some things we got to clean up, and these guys battle. They play hard, and they're physical. It's a physical group. They cleaned up some of the mistakes from a week ago, but we still have some work to do, and we got to get some stuff corrected.
Did they do a really good job defensively taking away Christian Kirk, or do you have a reason as to why Christian?
Really not until I look at the tape to see, but other than that, it's hard to tell until we get back to looking at it.
Doug, the interception right there after halftime, or right there at the start of the third quarter, how much does that take out of just the momentum, the intensity, or whatever? How much does that take out of a team when you feel like you're down there, about ready to take the lead, and it just doesn't happen?
Still there's a lot of football game left, and so it's unfortunate. We know we can't do that, but there was no waiver. Our guys were confident. They felt good even going back out on the field. Defense was obviously putting it kind of back on them to get a stop, but I mean it could take a little bit out, but for the most part, our guys did a nice job of staying in there and staying together and sort of rebounding after that.
You mentioned some drops earlier. I think there were 5 last week too. Maybe is that playing on maybe Trevor's mind a little bit at this point? No, you don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, no.
Hey, Coach, we've talked a lot about the confidence in this group early in the season. How do you keep the confidence on this team high now that the back-to-back losses?
I mean, you just go back to work, and you entrust these guys with a lot, and we ask a lot of them, and you just keep working, and you keep putting them in these situations, and they're gonna learn. We're all gonna learn together, and we'll be stronger and better for it.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
I'd like to be able to have something for you, but I'm not 100% sure what the answer is, other than the obvious, which is lack of execution. I don't know if it's just off key with the passing game or the run game. That they just have to get better in that tight area and find a way to help the defense.
Head coach Doug Pederson is wrapped up with the media down the hall. He's heading down to catch up with Bucky Brooks just outside the Jaguars locker room after a Jaguars loss in Week 5. Final score 13-6. The Houston Texans get their first win of the season. 1-3-1 record for Houston. The Jaguars fall to a record of 2-3. Let's go outside the Jaguars locker room. Bucky Brooks with head coach Doug Pederson.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the tough loss today?
Man, it's tough, and I keep telling our guys that it's going to always be about us, and about what we do, and just there's too many self-inflicted sort of wounds that when you look back, it just comes down to what we do, and we just got to continue to work and push, and they're all teachable and they're all fixable and correctable and all of that, but at the same time, we know that these games are going to come down to 3 to 5 plays. You never know which ones they are or who's going to be involved, and we've got to be smarter in those areas.
Going back to a conversation we had in the offseason, you said the process of learning how to win is really hard, and so that you have to go through some tough stuff to get them right. Now it sucks now, but what lessons can you kind of teach the team to help them down the line when we get in the stretch run?
And you're exactly right. Winning in this league, it takes everybody, number one, and it takes a great week of preparation. Everybody has to kind of look at their routine, and I think that's coaches included, as myself, all the coaches, the players. Just look at your routine and how are you putting yourself in a position. I talk about sacrifice a lot in this sport. We sacrifice not just on the football field, but off the field as well, sometimes with our families and things of that nature. And just being able to, I think, you just got to understand that and know that, these games come down, like I said, to a couple of plays. And just keeping, staying positive, showing them, the errors that are being made, the mistakes that are being made, showing confidence in this football team. I never want to doubt these guys whatsoever. They play hard, they play physical, they play fast. I mean, those are things you see on tape and on the field in games, and but it's just now we have to be a smarter football team, and that just comes with the teaching, right, and still the coaching and showing them on tape, and just having those same conversations over and over again, as we go.
To their point, like even with the quarterback, like how do you help him? You haven't watched the tape, but how do you evaluate Trevor? How do you help him through like this moment in terms of learning how to be a winning quarterback in this league?
I think the number one thing is you still got to show confidence in him, right? You still got to show that he's the guy, and really you have to show him some of the good that he's done already this year, and then you just got to keep working with. It's the only thing that kind of gets you through some tough moments is just continue to for me, continue to push and to practice and put him in those situations and during the week, and and we got to understand as a staff too just how young he is, and that this game happens fast, and windows are open and closed extremely fast, and just running the show, and just understanding the big picture of everything. But those are all things that you learn, with more time out there on the field. But I think the biggest thing is we have to still continue to show confidence, not only in him, but the entire football team, and get it fixed.
We'll get a chance to get it fixed next week against Indianapolis. We see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Bucky. Cool.
All right, that's head coach Doug Pederson with Bucky Brooks just outside the Jaguars locker room. Final score 13-6. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll return with highlights of this one. Texans win in Week 5, 13-6 over the Jaguars. This is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I.
This week at Publix, save $10 instantly when you spend $40 on the P&G products that help you tackle everything from pregame prep to postgame cleanup, including Crest, Old Spice, Bounty, and Tide. Clip your digital coupon now at Publix.com.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing. Focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Welcome back to Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jaguars, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Texans 13, Jaguars 6. Let's get to the highlights and the scoring summary from today's game. Well, neither offense could get anything going early in this game. They traded 3 and outs on the opening drives. They punted again on the second possession. Jaguars defense gets Houston off the field after 4 plays on their third drive. And then the Jaguars drive down the field, 11 plays, 60 yards. They stall out in the red zone, though, and settle for a 26-yard field goal from Riley Pederson to open a 3-0 Jags lead. Well, the ensuing possession for the Texans. The Jaguars' defense giving up a handful of plays down the field. Fairbairn, though, hits one from 50 yards away to tie the game 3-3. Jaguars' offense moves the ball a bit, 55 yards on the drive. They go for it on 4th down near midfield and fail. They turn it over on downs. The Texans can't do much with it either. They only go 30 yards on 8 plays in just under 5 minutes. Fairbairn hits a 51-yarder to give the Texans a 6-3 lead. But the Jaguars get a couple of chunk plays on their next possession. Ingram for 25, Dan Arnold for 22. There was a holding call on the right tackle, Jawan Taylor, on that drive that stalled him out. And a 45-yard field goal from Riley Pederson for the Jaguars good, and it tied the game 6-6. That was the halftime score. On to the second half. Jaguars open the half with the football. They're driving. They're in the red zone. Trevor Lawrence is rolling right, and it goes wrong.
Play fake. Rolling right is Trevor. Looking, still looking. Fires back in the end zone. That's picked off. He threw it into the back of the end zone. He threw it into coverage, and it is picked off by the rookie Derek Stingley on 2nd and a yard from the 7-yard line.
Stingley caught it in the back of the end zone and actually brought it out to the 2 where he was tackled. But the Jaguars can't pin them back on the next drive. They drive the ball out near midfield, 12 plays, have to punt it away. The Jaguars get the ball back. They get a 20-yard play to Marvin Jones. Well, they have to go for it on 4th down again near midfield, just past midfield, in fact, and they don't get it for a second time. 3 and out for the Texans. Jaguars go 3 and out. It's still a 6-6 game. And then the big moment of the game came on a 3rd and 20 play. There was an offside by Trayvon Walker. There were whistles. He continued to the quarterback, grabbed him, ripped him to the ground, and got a personal foul to negate the offsides and give the Texans a first down to keep the drive alive. There was a play later in the drive where Dameon Pierce, the Texans running back, broke about 6 tackles inside the red zone to get down near the goal line. And then he capped it off with this 1-yard touchdown run to give the Texans the lead.
They hand it to Dameon Pierce. He is into the end zone for the touchdown. A half-yard touchdown run, officially a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have scored the first touchdown of the game and have taken the lead with 3:11 to play here at TIAA Bank Field.
12 plays, 74 yards, 6 minutes, 48 seconds. A backbreaker for the Jaguars, who turned it over on downs on their next drive again. The Texans go 3 and out. Jaguars get the ball back with about a minute to go. They get up near midfield and a chance at least for a Hail Mary, the final play of the game.
Last play of the game, shotgun for Trevor. It'll be a Hail Mary. I would imagine he drops, steps up, still scrambles around. Scramble around the backfield. Just got to let one fly, Trevor. Fires. He's hit as he let it go, so it's well short of the end zone, and it is picked off by the Texans. They are running it back. King is running it back. He's just going to step out of bounds, and that'll end the ball game.
That was it. Final score, Houston 13, Jacksonville 6. The Texans are 1-3-1. The Jaguars fall to 2-3. We'll return with a look at the ViStar final stats. Final score 13-6. Texans get the win in Week 5. And this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network. At ViStar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. ViStar Credit Union, ViStarCU.org. Go Jags!
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's Ford Truck Month. Now's the time to get a great deal on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But you better get going. These deals won't last. Get to Ford Truck Month. Some models, trims, and features may not be available or may be subject to change. See your local dealer for details.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars postgame. Final score 13-6. Texans over the Jags in Week 5. Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. And we'll give it to Foye Oluokun, the Jaguars linebacker, who had a sack today. It was originally scored as a split sack between he and Devin Lloyd, and at the end of the day it comes into a sack for Oluokun by himself. So the free agent who comes in the offseason for the Jaguars has the defensive play of the game. It came on the second drive of the second half for the Texans offense, and that's the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Let's take a look now at the ViStar final stats. Jaguars Game Day Radio brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better, and we'll start off with the team statistics as we normally do here on Jaguars postgame. And Fred, as you mentioned earlier in the show, a lot of these numbers actually go the Jaguars' way today, but the big one that matters, the score, obviously did not today. Let's start with the team statistics in this game for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they outgained overall the Houston Texans today in total yardage, 422 to 248. They outrushed them 136 to 116. The Jaguars won in that department. Net passing yardage 286 to 132 in favor of the Jaguars. Penalties 4 for 25 yards against Houston, 6 for 48 for the Jags. Not a massive number, but in key moments. These penalties were massive today for the Jaguars. A holding call, as you mentioned, referenced earlier, Fred, and of course the personal foul penalty on Trayvon Walker on that touchdown drive for the Texans. The Jaguars 0 for 3 in the red zone today, and that one will come back to kill you with the interception, of course, in the end zone. They only mustered 2 field goals, Mike, and can't get anything else done today, and they fall by a touchdown.
Yeah, no matter what I pull out of these individual stats, we're still not going to score more points today,
no,
unfortunately.
You're right.
Trevor Lawrence threw for 286 on 25 of 47 passing, the 2 interceptions, quarterback rating of 54 on the day. Once again, falling to Davis Mills for the third time in their young careers. Mills 16 out of 24 for 140 yards and a quarterback rating of 81.9. No touchdowns, but also did not turn the football over. Travis Etienne led the way on the ground for the Jags. 7.1 yards per carry, 10 carries for 71 yards. Dameon Pierce, 26 for 99. So he had to work for it, but he got it in the end and scored the touchdown that mattered to give you the final margin here. Marvin Jones, 7 grabs a week after getting shut out on 11 targets, went for 104 yards, and Evan Ingram had 6 for 69. Nico Collins caught 4 for 65. No one else had more than 22 yards receiving for the Texans Today, Rayshon Jenkins led the way with 12 total tackles, including 7 solos on the day. Foye Oluokun had the lone sack for the Jaguars on defense.
Dameon Pierce, the big day today for the Houston Texans on the ground. Fred came out of Florida, and he had, I think, 23 touchdowns in Gainesville. Didn't have a bunch of yardage, though. So around the goal line, he got the ball. It felt like a lot down there. Today, I mean, he's breaking tackles and breaking free and then finishing in tight spaces and looked a little bit different here.
Yeah, he touched it 26 times, man. He's a big load. I think he's somewhere 5'10 and a half, almost 5'11", like 220 pounds. So he's a stocky, wide guy. But he's shifty. He has some good jets to him, some really good vision. So I'm hitting some cutback lanes there earlier in the game. And then he, caught the ball. He showed some soft hands too on the flip side, man. And I wish I could be talking about our guys like this today. But he's certainly a guy that you knew coming in he was getting the rock. You just knew that. And the defense knew it. And they just didn't necessarily stop it.
On the other side, let's talk about the Jaguars' running situation today. Travis Etienne, 10 for 71. Robinson, 10 for 27. Trevor ran it 4 times today, but let's focus on Etienne. 71 rushing yards. He had 43 on 3 catches to go with that. That's kind of what we thought he might be, is that option out of the backfield in the passing game. And then he showed some bursts and some things today. What did you like about his game today?
I like just, talking to him yesterday when the Legends met with a lot of the younger guys after post-practice yesterday, post-walkthrough. He came over and said, I feel it. I feel this is going to be my biggest game of the year. It's something about me. I just feel it. After those 2 runs early on, the 18 and the 30-yarder, he had 48 yards on those 2 carries. I said, all right. He sort of wished it, that it was going to come to existence. And, I would have liked to see him get more. He averaged that 7.1 a carry on 10 touches. And as you mentioned there in the passing game, 3 for 43, but he dropped a ball on the sideline there that I thought would have been an important catch. He secured it. But, he has that ability. He has really good vision, some quickness there. In the preseason, I thought he broke more tackles than he's been showing in the regular season. Now it's like one hit and he's down. But he certainly have some quick, some explosiveness. So those guys together as a duo, they do pretty good to get the job done.
Last week they each had 8 carries, right? Today they each had 10, talking about Etienne and Robinson, Fred. So it appears they want to be balanced. They bring different things to the table. It's not like James Robinson hasn't been explosive at times this year. He's got the 37 and 50-yard touchdown runs. But when you get a guy going like Etienne was going in the first half, do you kind of have to throw the balance out the window, in your opinion, and just ride the hot guy?
Yeah, and you, as a back, you hate that. You want the guys to win, and as a starter, you want those touches. You feel like those touches I can also get going too. If those touches was mine, I could do the same thing, and that should be your mentality. But when you're not that guy with the hot hand and you're sitting on the sideline, the frustration is at an all-time high. I mean, you're getting cold. You're like, you got to find ways to stay warm and stay in the game, and it's tough. It could be tough. I don't know. I just hate that you have 2 really good backs, and you want to try to be balanced and use both of them. The coaching staff, you have to pick the right points in time throughout the game to get those guys in. But clearly, when Maurice and I shared the load, Maurice did a lot of stuff better than me. And I deferred to it. Plus, I was a little bit older, so I was like, "Oh no, Mo, you go. This is you. Oh no, that's all yours." But these are 2 young guys.
Yeah, right.
It's totally different. The dynamic, and I know they both want the ball, but man, I don't know. It's good to have 2 good backs, though.
Well, they did open the second half with Travis Etienne as the starting running back on the field. So, from that standpoint, maybe they were trying to get him an extra series or something like that.
Maybe so. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could be a fly on the wall in the meeting room, when they're going in there, especially, to see who's making the correct reads. I can sit back on the sideline and try and be Monday morning quarterback. But I like to actually see the game plan, see the blocking scheme. That way I can have a better opinion on, who's making the right cuts, who's missing cuts, just who has the highest score at the end of the game, because they score you on your mistakes, your effort, your yardage that you gain. I like to be able to see those scores and see who outplays the other guy.
When we return, Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. Final score, Texans 13, Jaguars 6. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. Enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix, where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale.
Yeah, it was a rough day offensively and just frustrated, obviously. It's frustrating to watch the tape, and like I always say, watch the tape before I say too much. But really, obviously, I had a few plays out there that I want back. Missed a few. That one play in the red zone, obviously, just bad decision. Put us in a bad spot, and then just didn't capitalize. As a unit, we didn't take advantage of the opportunities that we had, and really played into what they wanted us to do. Make those mistakes and get in 3rd and long, and then get us to punt it or whatever. A couple times, turn it over on downs. It's just. Didn't play our style of football. Didn't play well. This one stings, and everybody feels it in there. And as you should. It's a division game. It's a game where we feel confident and thought we had a good plan and just didn't execute it. And we got to be better. So.
What did you see on the interception in the end zone?
Yeah, honestly, I just forced it. The field shrunk down there. We were into the boundary and didn't have James in the flat, and then. Thought I might have had a shot at the back baseline and just stingly fell off the corner there. It was just bad decision. That's one you just throw away, maybe try to run it in, live to play another down. So I think it was 1st or 2nd and goal. So that's just can't do that. Our defense held them 13 points. You got to score more than 13 points if you want to win. For us, offensively, that's the standard. We got to play better, help them out. And then we didn't finish drives. We got in the red zone multiple times. Most of the game, and we had a couple 3-and-outs, we were driving the ball successfully. We hit a lot of big plays, and it was just we'd stall out. We gotta fix that. We gotta all look in the mirror and be accountable. Myself, I gotta look at the things that I gotta do better. Obviously, the turnover, can't let that happen. And then just beyond that, though, a couple throws that were close. We just got to make the play. It's like we talked about in the locker room. Told the guys we can't all have an off day on the same day. You can have one guy and you can pick him up and you can go make a play for him, and that's fine. But we all just got to be better collectively.
Trevor, did you know it was a bad decision as soon as you released it? Because Stingley was in front of Zay when you released the ball. That's why it seemed very.
Yeah, just bad. Like I said, just forced it. Tried to do too much there and. Just a bad decision, like I said.
7 turnovers in the last 7 quarters. How do you keep from pressing, and how do you not lose a little confidence moving forward?
I haven't lost any confidence. It just, like I said, there's that one really in the last play of the game, it wasn't a good throw. Trying to scramble around, buy some time, let them get down there, and obviously that's a turnover. But the one, like I said early, is the one that's just you can't let that happen, especially in the red zone. The type of game it was, points are really valuable, and you got to get something out of there. We need to score, but we got a field goal. We're down there inside the 10, but we should score on that possession. But I haven't lost any confidence. You look at some of the stuff we did. We moved the ball great. Guys made plays downfield. I thought I was confident. Ripped a few in there. Had some good plays, but it doesn't matter if you don't win. So at the end of the day, we got to finish games, and we're going to learn from it. It hurts. This is a division game. It's a big game. So it's frustrating, but we're going to get better, and that's the thing. We can't panic. We're a good football team, and we believe that, and we just got to play like it. We didn't play like one today. We played bad. So,
Trevor, not a great day today for you guys offensively on third down and in the red zone. Did the Texans present anything different to you than what you saw all week in your film study that gave you particular difficulty in those situations?
Not necessarily. I think just they played a lot of two-shell, a lot of two-Tampa. And that's what they did to us last year. So it's not necessarily a surprise. They did it more to us this game than they have in the 4 games prior this season. So I guess, they played a little bit more shell. But at the end of the day, we have plays, that we feel great about that put us in a position to succeed against that and just missed too many opportunities. Early in the game, I think I was forcing a few downfield and instead of just taking the underneath throws that they were giving us. And then I think I settled in. Late in that first quarter, especially late in the second quarter. But like I said, we just didn't finish drives. We kept stalling out. We had a couple. I think we didn't convert on a 4th down early in the game, and then we didn't convert on a 4th and half a yard later in the game. That was right at midfield. Those are huge plays. We got to convert some of those. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to do better, but that's definitely one.
Coming into the game, did you guys feel like there were particular personnel matchups that you'd be able to take advantage of against that team? And then on the flip side of it, during the game, did you find that there were any particular personnel matchups that you guys had difficulty dealing with?
Not necessarily. We had some, obviously I don't want to get into necessarily the whole game plan, but just we had some things that we thought we had schemed up, and really from their side of the ball, they just played a lot of Tampa. Played cover 2. Most of the snaps. They mixed it up towards the end when we started to move the ball more and more and hit some plays. So they adjusted a little bit, but that was really, I think, their game plan, and they stuck to that. And like I said, we kind of played right into it. We put ourselves in 2nd and 3rd and long, and then when you get in that situation, that defense that's kind of what it's built for. Keep everything in front of you, rally, make the tackle, get you in 4th down. And they did that and did a good job of that. And really, I think we shot ourselves in the foot too much all the way around. And that's the thing. You gotta play well to win, obviously. And I just didn't think that we definitely didn't play well, but just weren't consistent enough throughout the game. Obviously, we had some plays here and there, but you gotta play a complete game to win in this league, no matter who you're playing, and didn't do that.
Doug mentioned the staff needing to do with something, and even your own part, trying to get settled into games a little bit quicker. Why do you think maybe some of the starts have been slower this year? I really can't answer that question right now. I don't want to try to just think of something right now to say to you guys. So I think there's been times where we've started well. We're only 5 games in, so I'm not going to blanket we're not starting well this year. I'd have to go back and look at all that. There's definitely been some games where we haven't, so I'd agree with that. But I think it's always a combination of multiple things. Yes, of course, it's a little coaches, but it's us players too. And I think our team does a good job of looking in the mirror. You got to hold yourself accountable, and you can't point fingers. We're all in it together, and coaches aren't always going to call a perfect play. We got to make them right. They do a really good job of putting us in good positions and getting us in the right play a lot of the time. And when that doesn't happen, you're never going to go 100%, but we got to make them right, and we got to make the play, and or don't make a bad play worse. Like, for instance, on the goal line, my play, the turnover. So there's a lot of things, and like I said, we all just got to look in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable and get better. Like I said, it's the 5th game of the year. We got 12 games left. No panic, but we got to get better for sure. You can't play like that and expect to win. So. And do you get a sense, even after 5 games, that there's still kind of a sense of urgency to
fix whatever.
Definitely, and there should be now for sure. Last 2 weeks, games that we feel we should have won and we didn't. So that definitely stings, and it's there definitely is a sense of urgency, and we gotta have a great week of prep. Another division game this week in Indy. They're gonna be fired up to play us after the first game here a few weeks ago. So they're gonna be ready, and we're gonna get everything they have. So we'll be prepared, and we just got to have a great Wednesday. That's our main focus. Come in here tomorrow, clean it up, and then start the week off great on Wednesday and get ready for them.
Trevor, the Tampa cover 2, compared to where you were a year ago to now, how do you feel you are in going up against that, you personally, in terms of reading that defense and then exploiting it?
I mean, I think just specifically on that, we did some good things today. We had some plays down the field. Like I said, they did the same thing to us last year, and I thought we settled in earlier this year. I know the first game of the season we played there, really just being a young player, I think I forced a lot downfield, just kept making the same mistake, played into what they wanted us to do. And I thought this year, or today, we settled in, and you had a couple of those early, but then settled in and started taking what they were giving us, finding our matchups, finding our holes in the zone, and but just didn't put those together consistently enough. And then we'd hit those, and then we'd stall out. And so at the end of the day, it's not good enough to win. But I think we handled it better than we had in the past.
How do you how do you maybe lean on Doug? Is it press? Is it Mike? Is there someone that you lean on when the going is getting tough and there is the inconsistency out there?
I mean, Coach McCoy is obviously our quarterback coach, so we're always talking. We're on the sideline together, and he does a really good job of not panicking. No matter how good or bad it's going, he's kind of always the same. So he's a guy I trust, and has helped a lot just as far as the confidence and the mindset of myself and the offense and everything. So he does a really good job, and coaches are the same way. After that play, like I said, in the red zone, really bad decision by me. Coach Pederson came up to me, and he's like, "Hey, you're better than that, but let's move on. Next play." And so everybody does a good job of that. But like I said, it's still we just gotta be better. So.
Trevor, Doug was in here earlier and said you're seeing it on the field. That's not the issue. It's just from that point on, sometimes here and there. Can you kind of talk us through maybe some of why there's maybe a little bit of, I guess, just being off there?
What do you mean? What exactly off,
like
in which way?
Everything on the field, you're seeing where you're supposed to go, and you're seeing the coverages and stuff.
Really, obviously there's always a few plays that you go back and look and you wish you would have gone somewhere else with the ball, taking a throw here or there. Or I think I missed a few throws today more so than anything. I think early, like I said, I forced a couple downfield that I could have, just kept us on schedule and, got settled into the game. I could have done a better job there. But really seeing the defense, I thought I did a good job. I think I just missed a few throws. And like I said, we just didn't make the plays that were there all the way around. There's a lot out there. When you watch the tape, it's going to be frustrating because you leave a lot out there. And like you said, I'm seeing it, feel good about that. I work hard during the week to be prepared and to see the looks and to be able to react whenever I see certain coverages. And I thought for the most part I saw them, but got to be maybe a little quicker in some of my progressions and just be more accurate overall.
Trevor, on the 4th and 10, not on the last possession, but next to the last possession, it looked like you looked at Travis very briefly. He was kind of checked down in the right flat, and then you decided to go to Evan deeper. Did you just feel like Travis was too far back at the sticks to be able to convert that?
Yeah. I mean that was a play. He's kind of the flat control guy there, and it's 4th and 10, and the one thing you can't do is throw it short and get tackled short and not give yourself a chance. So in my mind, I wanted to try to give us a shot downfield. Derek Stingley played it pretty well on Evan. I didn't throw necessarily a catchable ball there, which is a mistake. Again, got to give him a chance to go make the play. But I just didn't. I mean, Travis, I'll have to go back and watch it. I saw it on the tablet, obviously on the sideline, and that's something. If I get it to him, maybe he makes the play. But in my mind, it's a risky decision there on 4th and 10. If he gets tackled short, that's the one rule is you want to try to give yourself a chance. So. That's not really necessarily one that I'm kicking myself over, but definitely
wish I would have gave Evan a better shot to make the play downfield.
Trevor, it felt like all week long the story was that this was a statement game for you guys, a chance to show that you had taken a step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel that, and what statement, because people will tend to make a statement of their own after this, what statement do you think it does say, if anything, about where this team is?
It's got a lot of room for improvement. Like I said, we've played some really good football this season. We've played some bad football too. So the only thing it says is we got to get better, and that's the message, whether we win or lose. But especially when you lose a game like this and you don't play well, especially offensively. So we gotta, like I said, we gotta hold each other accountable, hold ourselves accountable, and we got to get better. And we all just have to do our part. And like I said, our team does a good job of staying together. No one's going to point fingers, but we do have to step up and make the plays that are there and really just be more consistent all the way around. So that's the message. Is just it's early. We have plenty of time, but we got to make improvements.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks.
They fall to 1-2 in the division potentially. Whew. At 2-4 at that point would be pretty devastating, considering where you thought you might be just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, because especially the only thing that would be left is one more game against the Texans and 2 against the Titans in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then going into the game today, we're talking about 3-0 in the division after next week if you won today and next week, but certainly not the case now after the loss today. 1 o'clock kickoff time in Indy next week. Fred, we'll talk to you. Have a good week. It's good to see the Pivot doing well. You're on ESPN a lot. I saw you on the
man, and this makes it feel worse because I just went all out and say, I still believe they can win the division. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, no moral victory. I still think they can, but I've gone all out to say the Jags will be the best team in Florida at the end of the year, and they still have an opportunity. But my Pivot guys, man, as soon as I say that, these games end, I get these text messages from my group chat. These guys are bullies. But the thing is, they both lost by 30-plus today. Pittsburgh lost 38-3, and I think the Dolphins lost 40-17 against one of their former coaches there against the Jets. So I get the last laugh, I guess.
I think Stephen A. was giving it to you the other day,
Yeah,
too,
he
right?
tried to. Yeah, he's just a loudmouth. He's a good guy, but with an extremely loud mouth.
All right. Well, there you have it. Either way, check out the Pivot as well. And, keep repping the Jags,
Appreciate the promos, JP.
Hey, we got it. Good to see you. We'll talk to you this week.
Always a pleasure, man.
Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars. Hey, that Legends weekend, you had a great time, right?
Look, man, I almost cried Friday night when I got to Topgolf. One of my teammates, I hadn't seen him forever, a guy who I certainly admire and looked up to. He was a headache for Skip Richardson and the security and Coach Coughlin. Tony Brackens, one of my favorite teammates, man. I saw T-Brack Friday. He looked almost as young as he did when I got here. But he's in great spirits, and he's different than he was. Him and Tony Baselli are they sort of adopted the opposite ends of the spectrum, if you know what I mean. Tony Baselli was Mr. Goody guy. And Tony Brackens was on the opposite end of that, and now they're on the opposite end of that.
Wow.
Wow. Still two good guys, but one of them drinks a little bit more than the other one.
We'll leave that to the imagination then. Let you use that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
We had a great time, man. Can't wait till next time.
Good to see you, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Fred Taylor, proud of the Jaguars running back, joining us. Plenty ahead. And for those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard show is next. We'll get your calls. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. You can also check it out on our social media channels, Jaguars, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. VP of Production, Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer, Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato is our studio producer, as is Tony Smith. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton, and David Cho produce our videos for Jaguars.com. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Texans 13, Jaguars 6 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars are future focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in. It's the Scoreboard Show, 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. We will be here until 6 o'clock taking your calls, reacting to this Jaguars loss to the Houston Texans. 13-6 the final score. The Texans now 1-3-1. The Jaguars 2-3 on the season. And it's now the 9th consecutive meeting against the Texans. The Jaguars have lost. Not good, Coach. And the
I got
Texans,
nothing for you good here. This is not one I feel like, well, at least, you can play a team that maybe is a little bit better than you or is middle of the pack, and you can go up and down the field and match scores with them and say, all right, well, we did well here, we did well there. I mean, one or two individuals had nice games today for the Jaguars overall, but, JP, you can't come out of this feeling good about practically anything. I guess the defense overall, but still – gave up the drive when it mattered most, and that's a tough burden to put on a team. Say you got to hold them to 6 points, but 13 should get it done in the National Football League when you're playing at home and you're healthy on the offensive side of the football.
I mean, on that defensive drive you're talking about, it was 3rd and 20, and they were offside. Okay, so it would have been 3rd and 15, and then Walker throws the quarterback to the ground on a dead play. They didn't even get to see the 3rd and 15 play. They give them the automatic first down. They keep the drive going. Then Dameon Pierce turns into Earl Campbell all of a sudden inside the 20 and then punches it in for a touchdown, and that's it. The offense can't move for the Jaguars, and Bucky Brooks joins us now, and it's a frustrating day at the bank, Buck. Good afternoon.
It is.
How are you?
I've been better. At least I didn't guarantee to win today, but I thought it.
Yeah, I did that.
I should have been in the bag. This was what we had talked about. This was like kind of the measuring stick thing for Trevor Lawrence because his first starter thing was against the Texans. Lovie Smith and the Tampa 2 will test the patience and the discipline of all quarterbacks, and young quarterbacks in particular. And so Trevor talked about it in his presser. I got a little greedy, try to push the ball down the field and those things. And if you get off schedule, it puts you in a bind. And the frustration stems from you're the big-time quarterback. You're used to showing off your arm, and now you have to throw a bunch of dink and dunks. And it's frustrating. It's hard to stay disciplined enough to take that until they give you an opportunity to push it down the field, and he just couldn't do it.
But even early in the game, Bucky, when he did take what was there, he was missing a lot of those throws again, right? I mean, these are throws that if you want to be considered a high-level quarterback in the National Football League, you got to make the majority of them. And again, we find ourselves scratching our heads. Why is it that Trevor Lawrence gets in these funks where he starts slow in the first quarter? I don't have the answer for it.
Yeah, some of it is I think Doug has talked about him being keyed up really early, and so they got to understand who he is and what he is and make sure that they tailor the game plan to him so he can have some success early. But like as a play caller, you can do so much. You got to make sure that your player executes the plays, and Trevor has to do a better job of knocking down the layups and taking the throws that are there and making good decisions and managing the game. And, it's one of those things we want him to be so good so quickly. He's a year and a half in his pro career, but at some point that experience has to turn into expertise when it comes to managing the game. And right now it hasn't fully clicked for him.
On defense, they played a really good game, actually. Gave up 2 50-plus yard field goals in the first half. Got off the field pretty much every other time except, as we were mentioning when you walked in, that 3rd and 20 situation, offside, threw the quarterback to the ground and kept that drive going. That was the backbreaker for the Jaguars. That was it. It kept going down the field, 12 plays, 74 yards, nearly 7 minutes, and Dameon Pierce scores a 1-yard touchdown. But the Trayvon Walker situation, obviously he kind of lost it there for a second to go after the quarterback.
Yeah, that's frustrating. It's frustrating because you're playing a team that, man, they can't move the ball at all. And the fact that it would take them 12 plays to go 40 yards.
Right.
Like, it is a Pop Warner offense.
They were on pace for like the longest drive in league history, I think.
They had 11 plays on a drive and had yet to get to midfield.
It wouldn't be close.
Right, and so it's this thing we talk about as a coach. You look up and you have to figure out what's the magic number. And the magic number was 13. Because I'm like, man, you score a touchdown, it's over. Yeah. it's a done deal. And so the thing with Trayvon Walker, he has to be aware and just know, one, I can't jump off sides in that situation. It's 3rd and 20. Like, what are we doing? We got them backed up. Like, they're not going to be able to convert it. And then you cannot slam the quarterback.
I mean, I guess we haven't heard anything out of the locker room.
Like,
just didn't hear it, I guess.
You can't. Like, even with that, you can't.
He didn't have the ball in his hand.
Right. Didn't have the ball.
And no time can you ever slam any quarterback. You can't
sling him around and slam him to the ground.
Like,
You're not going to let
don't
him
throw a flag when you
day.
actually sack them now.
Right, even if he
flags.
had the ball and it was a
Right.
live play, they'd probably throw the flag on that. So.
Yeah, you can't slam the quarterback.
Boy. Yeah, it's my thoughts exactly.
I mean, just, it's – and I hate this mantra of handful of plays, correctable, we beat ourselves. Because I've been hearing that, Bucky, for the most part of the last dozen years, right?
Well,
and sometimes it's true, I understand that, but I think Jaguar fandom is tired of that whole line of – and I understand these are new players. They're not responsible for what came in the past, but – it's here we are again with I don't want to hear about shooting ourselves in the foot, right? We're raving about this coaching staff getting the best out of these guys, more discipline, more professional, crafting things, getting guys wide open on offense, and then here we are. I feel like we're back in the last few years of kind of excuse making after the game.
Well, I would call it excuse making. It's not like the last couple of years. Those last couple of years are hard to watch.
I understand, but when
hard watches last year, hard. And I'm having to watch from L.A. That's hard.
But what
and
is
then I was like, on TV, the only thing I had was snacks. I had a good set of snacks with me, but man, it's a hard watch. But here's the thing with this part of it when it comes to Doug, and he has to talk about those things because he's trying to teach a team how to win and how to win at a high level. And all coaches say this because it's true. Like what Lovie Smith did today, he basically squatted on the ball. It was like watching Wisconsin basketball in half court. You just hold on to it, and if you ever get down 4 points, it seems like $1 million, and that's what they did. They just didn't want to turn it over. And it worked because of the red zone issues, the turnovers, and just a couple silly mistakes that put us behind the 8 ball.
All right, we've got plenty ahead. Your calls coming up, 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. We will be here until 6 o'clock. For your calls, it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates Frequent Shopper Clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Milquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the south bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to Scoreboard Show, 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks, and your calls. What you got, Mike?
Here they come. We'll head to Orlando first off with Matt on the line. Matt, you're on with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, please.
You're on the air.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to, first off, thank you guys for letting me in. But, okay, I got a few things I want to talk about. Get off my chest real quick. I called Grandpa. He was a first 5-year season ticket holder. And I said, Grandpa, what's going on? How are we losing these games? He said, son, listen, it's a young team. We're going to have these things. These things are going to happen. But when I look at it, I get a little upset, and I look at the game, and I say, This is a team we should have beat. This is a game we should have won. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Am I getting disconnected?
No, you're on the air.
You're on the air. Come on, man.
You're on a roll. Grandpa's a smart guy.
Yeah, it's a young team. Yeah, it's a young team. We're gonna experience these things. These are the things that he explained to me, and I get it. I'm 33 years old. Hello.
Yep, you're on. All right, we're done.
Yeah. You're done. I don't know what's going on there. Young team, Bucky. Texans, old team?
I mean,
pretty young team as well, right?
Right.
They're a pretty young team. They executed their version of half-court basketball better than the Jags because the Jags lost focus and discipline, and the Texans were determined to play old school, slow it down, keep away football, and it worked for them. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't really muster anything. They had a long drive finally.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they were willing to kind of play ping pong with us until we messed up.
Winning football is what they're calling it after they take their 9th in a row against this team.
9 straight.
Jeffrey in Atlanta, you're up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead. Jeffrey, you're on the air.
Well, we're on a roll tonight.
Really are.
Man, we're off and running here.
Tony, we're going to try Johnny Callahan? All right, Johnny Callahan, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hey, man. What's up?
This is John. One thing I noticed is Trevor Lawrence did not look underneath where he was throwing. He had to throw that long ball to the end zone. There was a couple of times I noticed at the 5 and 6 and 7 yard line, he could have thrown to receivers and made a reception. Maybe it was Doug Pederson's call, but I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think here, Buck? I'll let you take that one.
Well, I mean, like we talked about playing against this coverage, you're going to have to take the check down. You have to exhibit some patience and some discipline in doing those things. And the deep ball should be out of the equation based on the way that they play. As he continues to progress, you'll start adding some other things in. But, yeah, they have to keep it simple. Keep it simple for the quarterback, hard for the defense.
Keep it simple, and we'll come back with more of your calls, we hope. 355-NFL1, 355-6351. A reminder, if you call in and you're on hold, you got to just hold on. Don't just listen to the radio. It's delayed. And you'll listen when your call comes up, and we will get to as many as we can with Bucky Brooks and Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Scoreboard Show rolling along. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, 13-6. Texans over the Jaguars.
Setting offensive football back.
Oh, my gosh. We've just turned back the clock. To the 1970s.
Or till
60s, 30s.
I don't even want to say.
Brutal.
355 NFL1. I don't even want to put that thought out. I'm not going to say what.
What were you going to say?
No, I'm not going to say.
No, I mean, we can't say that and not
can.
say that.
I can because I'm not going to say it.
But it sounds like you had something to say.
I'll tell you on the break.
Okay.
And if you want to,
all right.
If you want to divulge secret break communications, that will be on you.
It's not on me. I'm not going to do that. But you brought it up. You're like, can't
no,
say
you're
that.
right, because I was about to say it and I caught myself, and I think better of it.
Well, let's get some phone calls then. We'll see if they say it. Maybe they'll say it.
Zach will say it. He's on the north side.
No, he won't.
Hey? It's that kind of day. How about Dez on the north side, Tony? What are we looking at here? Dez, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead.
Hey, how y'all guys doing, man?
Oh,
okay.
Just great.
Hello?
You're on the air, yes.
Oh, how y'all guys doing, man? I would like to say this, man. Trevor played like he had too much cake and beer for his birthday this weekend.
Really?
All these overthrown passes, these what Trevor Walker, Walker did towards the end, I can't blame that on him because you got to think, we played 4 quarters. That one little play ended up doing the game-winning drive, but you have to think, overthrown balls, drop passes, defense can't stop them. Defense can't get off the field. So how can, that whole game was on everybody. And I would like to also say this to Trevor. Trevor, you have to be better. You have to be poised. I feel like you're trying to force some things too much. But you have to take a step back, man, because right now you're looking too inconsistent, and somebody's going to be asking for your job real soon. I'll take the comments off the air.
All right.
They can ask.
Yeah.
They're not going to
like
get the answer.
No, that's not going to work out. There's always people on Twitter that want to bench Trevor and put C.J. Beathard in. No. What are we doing? It's week 5. He's the guy. Like, Trevor's the guy. No matter what happens, he's the guy. So this cake and beer stuff, I don't know. It was his birthday this week. Happy belated birthday to Trevor. But come on. I mean, the guy is trying to fight through and figure out some things. Certainly in the red zone, Bucky, again, it bites him in that interception.
Yeah, the interception.
In the back of the end zone. What do you see there? You obviously didn't see Stingley.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Trevor and everyone wanting him to improve. He has to improve. Like, he certainly has to play at a higher level if the Jaguars are going to close the gap on the competition when it comes to the postseason. He has to take care of the ball. Number one thing is the turnover battle. It's just about him being patient. If he's patient and exhibits the poise, he'll get it done. But when he's not, he's impatient, wants to kind of rely on his arm talent, which is his crutch. That's when the bad stuff happens.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Do you think that's what it is? He's just impatient early in the game. He wants to, hit the home run, even though he's trying to throw a 14-yard pass.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. All these quarterbacks have a tough time when you play zone against them and make them check it down. All of them want to fit the things into the high-level throws and do the stuff that they're seeing done on Saturdays. Like make all these plays, these spectacular plays that they're accustomed to making. Well, National Football League, they take those things away. You don't have many big shots, and so you have to manufacture those plays. And the young quarterbacks, still believe that they can fit it in those honey hole shots where the defense is like, yeah, you try it, but we got it.
All right. Let's take a timeout. More of your calls on the other side. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. Jaguars fall 13-6, the final score. And the Jags fall to a record of 2-3. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
At 5-Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. 5-Star Credit Union, 5starcu.org. Go Jags!
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch in the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. The Jaguars fall 13-6 to the Houston Texans in Week 5. The Jags are now 2-3. They've lost 9 straight against Houston. 355 NFL 1, 355-6-351, and it's been a mixed, not really a mixed bag tonight. It's been not good tonight.
It's been interesting. We got a lot of them waiting, so let's see what we get this time. Let's go to Robert and Keystone next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Robert.
Hey, guys. Hey, I appreciate your show. I was wondering, thinking about how Aaron Rodgers had to sit behind Brett Favre and learn, do you think that maybe Trevor needs to sit back and maybe give C.J. Beathard a chance to look and let him study the game more? I was just wondering about that, guys.
Why?
That's a big no.
Why? Why would you say that? You still there?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Brett Favre, he of the 3 MVPs and the Super Bowl championship at the point they drafted Aaron Rodgers. Is that Brett Favre?
Yeah, that Brett Favre.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't think that, and I don't think Trevor struggles with that where it warrants him sitting down and doing those things. If anything.
What are you going to learn from a career journeyman? It's not like C.J. Beathard's been like an average starter in the league or anything like that. He's a solid backup that you trust to know the plays if you have to put him in.
That's it. He knows the plays. He can run them in pregame warm up and all that other stuff. But when it comes to playing and executing, we saw what it looks like. Like, he's fine. We hope we never have to go to him because Trevor's significantly more talented than C.J. Beathard. And so I don't know what he can learn from them. If they wanted to bring in someone that was high. There was a high-end player that was on the down, like what they talked about, Alex Smith. Okay, I can see him picking his brain and doing that. But, yeah, nobody else. He has to play.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to Pierre out in Santa Maria, California, next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Pierre.
Hello.
How are you?
Great, guys. First of all, I'm going to say tough loss, division game. First thing is first, guys. You got to protect that house. We must protect the house. I don't know if you guys know, I am from the great state of Florida myself. We never lost in high school. Not in high school, but my senior year, we didn't lose. We ran the wing T, if you guys know what that means. Wing T.
We know what that is, yeah. What high school?
Port St. Joe.
Yeah.
Tiger Sharks.
Yeah, over in the Panhandle. All right.
Yes, sir. Gulf County, Florida.
All right.
That being said, like I said, we ran the ball my senior year. We had running backs. Jacksonville, we have running backs. We got to stick with the run game. And one more thing, guys. Got to protect that house. Can't be a playoff team and lose at home. And that's it.
Thanks for the call. I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys, and say that Doug Pederson and Press Taylor will not be installing the wing T offense this week. I'm just going to say that right now.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong.
Well, like today,
I don't think that's going to happen.
Today we saw a wing T play when Travis Etienne came behind Trevor, and they kind of did a little spinner series around the corner. Like, some of that stuff is still wing T type stuff.
Thank you, Bucky. That's one play.
Some of that stuff. Here's the deal, because everyone talks about the running backs, and there's a growing sense of frustration about the run-pass ratio and those things. I will tell you this. Doug Pederson is a descendant of Mike Holmgren and Andy Reid, and those guys were from Bill Walsh. And so what we have to get used to, in Jacksonville, we're used to seeing kind of ground and pound, smash it out, because we never really had a quarterback that afforded us the opportunity to be a throw-it-around-the-yard team. So when Doug comes in, he envisions Trevor being a high-end quarterback in time, and so he wants to throw the ball around all over the yard. And he wants to throw short passes, and some of those short passes count as extensions of the running game. And so you're going to see a 60-40 pass-run split with some of these dink-and-dunk passes counting for runs. And then in the second half, hand the ball off to James Robinson and Travis Etienne and those things. We saw Travis Etienne have some success and do that. But this team does not view those guys as Fred T. So they're not going to get 28 to 30 carries a game. And so until we get another Fred Taylor, we won't see ground and pound and kind of that old school football. That's just not how the team is built. That's not how the scheme is built.
And it's generally not how the game is played anymore in the National Football League. I mean, there are occasions, you have a game like
normally
that.
If you don't have a quarterback.
Or if you don't have the personnel, right? Like
the Giants, today. The New York Giants are smashing.
Giants are without their top 4 wide receivers, and they beat the Packers today. Just unbelievable. All right, Pierre, thank you for the call. Let's go to St. Augustine. Eric is up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Eric.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Okay, what's up?
Hey, man, all I want to say is it's about time that a team came in here and finally beat us. This loss is a little bit different. It's not we beat ourselves, we were right there, we were so close. No, we got beat up today, and we played bad. And you know what? I think it's a good thing. We got beat by a team that hasn't got a victory yet. It's our homecoming weekend with Tony Baselli. And I just think this is going to light a new fire under these players for this week. And I think they've been preparing hard the whole time, but I think it's going to be different. And I know a lot of people were thinking that this was a statement game, but I think the true statement is how they respond next week. So I'm excited to see how they play.
Now, this glass is half full.
Mm-hmm. Sure, it is. But, I don't feel like the Texans came in and beat the team like the way that he's describing. The Jags outgained them by nearly 200 yards today.
Right.
So...
I would say the execution for the Texans was better in terms of their game plan. They literally wanted to squat on the ball. I mean, it was keep away. If this was soccer, they would just run to the corners and let the clock run out. And that's what they were trying to do. Jacksonville messed this one up because, one, they never got a chance to play with the lead. They never played from ahead. And so without playing from ahead, they couldn't force the Texans out of their shell, out of their style of play. And when you let them hang around, there was that being on the sideline, listening to the defensive coaches talk to the D-line. Hey, man, you knew what it was. We put on tape that we were susceptible to the run against Philadelphia. You knew this team was going to run at us. There are no tricks. There are no gadgets. You got to line up and win your individual battles. And so, yeah, there was a tough time, some with the running game, but this wasn't that. This came down to red zone inefficiency and then turning the ball over.
All right, back to the north side we go. We got Zach for a second chance. Zach, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
We got you. Yes, sir. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. I heard a caller before me saying something about Trevor Lawrence maybe being sit down for a couple of weeks or whatever. I'm just wondering, why do you guys think that's not necessary? They keep saying he's a generational talent, but when is he going to start showing it?
Yeah, is he going to show it on the? Is he going to show it on the? Is he going to show it on the bench, Zach? Is he going to show it sitting on the bench sipping Gatorade? No, you got to play. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, what are the options? So we're trying to roll with C.J. Beathard,
and that makes Trevor better.
Hold a clipboard?
How?
No, no, but I mean, it makes the team better. We put C.J. Beathard out there.
No, that's the growing groundswell out there.
That's dumb.
Has anybody watched?
I agree.
Has anybody watched C.J. Beathard?
Yeah. But you know how it is, man. The backup quarterback's always the most popular guy when the starters struggle. I'm not saying it's logical.
Yeah, emotion.
We're not saying Trevor's not playing well. He's not playing well.
No,
right now.
But he is the future of this team. Yes. And the only way he's going to get better is through playing and working his way through some of these mistakes and circumstances and, learning how to adjust. I don't think it's going to be by watching C.J. Beathard. As you said, Bucky, I mean, C.J. Beathard is the guy who you can count on to know the plays and not much more than that. That's all.
He's not giving you any playmaking ability. He is what he is. He's a backup quarterback because he knows all the offense and scripts, and he keeps us on track, and he can run a scout team some days and all that other stuff. But, yeah, he's not a playmaker. He's not a guy that's going to elevate the performance of the team. And so Trevor has to play. And if you have doubts about Trevor's ability to play, well, the best thing you got to do is you got to play him so you can evaluate him and make the decisions that you have to make down the line when it comes to that. And it'll be one of those things where we'll look back in a year, maybe a year or so, and be like, oh, okay, he was good enough, he exceeded expectations, or no, he didn't quite live up to it. Then you have to find the next one. That's just the way it is. That's the reality of the quarterback position.
You have to play, though. You've got to play to figure that out.
Absolutely.
You're saying C.J. Beathard's 2-10 record as a starter is not enticing you, JP?
I am not enticed.
Neither am I.
I am far from enticed.
Neither am I. All right, we got one more on the line for this segment. Let's go out to Springfield. Burdell is next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Burdell.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's up?
Okay. I just want to make an observation. I've been a season ticket holder for 14 years, and I'll admit I got drunk off the Trevor Kool-Aid also. But after 14 years, I've come to realize that the Jaguars are not going to fix this with a young quarterback. I can't, for the life of me, understand why they haven't went after a good, proven quarterback in the free agency market. And there have been plenty of them available since all this bad play began. I'll take your comments up there.
Well, I mean, don't go off the air yet. Wait a minute.
What free agent quarterbacks have been available to good ones? Normally, if you're a good free agent quarterback, a good quarterback that's about to hit free agency, they don't let you go because you're so good. They keep you with your squad. There hasn't been a major quarterback to get out there. And as we've seen, when they let their quarterback go, i.e. Russell Wilson, there's normally something that comes with that. They may not be what they were. They may be on the downside. So
yeah, we could be paying Russell Wilson $240 million right now to let Trevor sit on the bench. I mean,
Right.
You drafted a guy number 1 overall. He's not Josh Rosen, right? You're not throwing him out. You're not going to go, well, he had a rough rookie season. Let's go sign a veteran free agent quarterback and bring it here. It's just not going to happen. I mean, they committed the course of the franchise, which I happen to think is the right one. You invest in a young guy.
Yep.
You try to develop him and hopefully have an era where he's your quarterback, not just a Band-Aid that can fill in for a year or two and hope for the best.
5 games into Doug Pederson's tenure with a young quarterback, Doug is trying to learn the quarterback's trying to learn the system. As we get down the line late in the year, those things should click. If it doesn't click, next year is the year that then you begin to be like, oh, okay, we need to really evaluate him next year hard to see if he's the guy. But I don't even see that being a thing. But normally year 3 is the one because you have to then begin to make decisions on 5th-year options and all that other stuff. So,
You got people trying to blow it up after 5 games.
yeah, not a lot of patience. Got to have more patience. These people wouldn't do well playing against Lovie Smith's Tampa too. They throw all kinds of turnovers. They're not patient. No patience, no discipline.
No. We're back in a moment. Final segment of the Scoreboard Show. If you don't get in with us, the 5th quarter is coming up at the top of the hour. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
We're back. What a scoreboard show it's been. Final score 13-6. Texans over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks bringing it on home. What you got?
All right, 355 NFL 1. We've got the Final Four here. Josh in Kentucky, you're next up on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Josh.
Josh, you're on the air.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. What's up?
Travis had a couple good runs early in the first half, and James just really couldn't get going. How do we get more consistent, making big plays frequently throughout the game?
I mean, they did open the second half, giving the ball to Travis Etienne, or at least put Etienne on the field to open the second half. So I thought that was a nod to recognizing what kind of day he was having.
They also, completed 28-yard pass to Ingram on that drive, and Marvin Jones for 17, moving the ball down the field.
I would say
just a run game.
I would say playing with more tempo, and I'm waiting for this to happen. It appears that whenever we up the ante and go quick tempo and begin to do what I call the Clemson offense, where you're doing a mix of bubble screen, zone read, with Travis Etienne on the field, the offense tends to move a little bit. I do wonder, as they talk about looking at everything, if that's a consideration moving forward. Playing with a little more pace, a little more of the quick rhythm passing game, running game combination to see if you can get Trevor Lawrence and this offense going, because they have to score more points. You shouldn't lose a game that you only give up 13 points.
Well, they see that same film, right? You would think the coaching staff sees that. Bucky, why do you think we haven't seen more of it?
I don't know, because that's not necessarily maybe the main thing in the playbook. Maybe it's supposed to be a complement to what they eventually want to do. And you want to give it some time to see, he didn't get it in week 2, maybe he'll get it in week 4, and then kind of figure out where you can make the offense very, very comfortable for him and for everybody else. Because at the end of the day, man, it's players, not plays. It's about the players that you have and putting them in the sweet spot to get open. But because it's not a video game, you have to run the game through the quarterback. They need to make sure that Trevor Lawrence is comfortable as the joystick in terms of making the plays and getting the ball to the right people.
All right, let's go to DJ on the north side next on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, DJ.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to address Trevor missing wide-open guys. When we look on the replay, we can clearly see, there are wide-open guys. So at what point do receivers start to get frustrated? Also, what is the sense in running the RPO if Trevor's not going to run? I'll take the comments on there. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, there was to that second part, there was a fourth down play, right? Where they
yeah, it was a fourth down play.
They handed it off, and he could have pulled it out and run.
Yeah, the thing is, the guy gave him a muddy read. So normally when you're teaching and you're installing that, the defensive end that came around just kind of kind of squatted, but he didn't make a full declaration that he was coming down or feathering. And so the quarterback is generally taught, like, when in doubt, hand it off. And so he did that. It's funny because the running game, and we're seeing more quarterbacks involved in the running game. We saw Daniel Jones of late. Brian Daboll knows that the Giants have no perimeter playmakers. And so they're doing everything, running the ball, running Daniel Jones and those things. There's always this pearl clutching when it comes to Trevor Lawrence is running. Oh, he's going to get hit. Logs always talks about it.
We heard it on the radio
He talks about, oh, my God, I don't like it when he goes. But it's a part of his game. And if you're going to fully watch him fully maximize his talent, you got to let him run. You got to put him on the front and let him run around.
I agree. He had 4 carries for 29 yards today. I don't think he's opposed to running. I think you're right.
No, he
made the wrong read in that.
Yeah.
If he kept it, it looked like he would have.
Yeah.
It's easy to watch that and see it play out and, see the whole replay and know which way that went. So, all right, DJ, appreciate that. Leo in Mandarin next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Leo.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you very much. I guess these guys going to try to I guess they're going to give me a harder stroke before the end of the season playing 500 football. I don't know. I hyped them up too much in the last couple of weeks. But, look, I'm going to give them a little praise before I say good job defense, 13 points. I know it was Houston, but they put up more. Trevor did something really good in the second quarter. It was 2nd and 13, and we had a false start, and it was 2nd and 18. He zipped one down the field for a first down. I said, that's great. You were down, you were behind the sticks. That showed progress. Okay, that was a good thing. But look, he's misfiring. There's guys open. He's misfiring on some targets. I don't understand, like that interception today. We saw that play. I think it was Washington. I called in and said if he led Zay Jones to the corner, it'd have been a touchdown. Well, the guy was sitting there waiting on him today. I feel like, this is a good staff, and I feel like they're showing Trevor his mistakes. And other teams are watching their mistakes too, okay? So you're going to see them again is the point. And so, Zay Jones, he tried to throw it to him again. Today you should have zipped it right to him, either over his head or up high. But you tried to lead him like you should have done in week 1, and the guy picked you off. And I understand guys want to run the football. We've seen the man can run the football. We've seen both running back do a good job. We've seen guys catching the ball. We've seen guys getting open. Defense playing good. We have to see if he can make all the throws. He's misfiring, and we're going to have to deal with his growing pains, okay? And we're going to just have to deal with it. But he is messing up a little bit, okay? But until he starts seeing the things every week, you're going to have to see these things that you're messing up on. And you can't hide him with putting him behind C.J. Beathard or trying to hide him behind the running game. We didn't draft Derrick Henry. This is not a running football team. We drafted a throwing quarterback. I think that's why he don't even want to run the football, because he don't want to be considered a running quarterback, okay? But, hey, good job or whatever, and I hope we get better next week. We got to win next week. That's what it is.
Thanks for the call. Hey,
that is what it is. Like, all of us had to learn how to drive, and I'm sure the first time you got behind the wheel, you weren't a perfect driver. You probably hit the line a little bit. You might have bumped a mailbox or two as you're figuring it out. Trevor Lawrence is trying to figure out how to drive the car. So there's going to be some scuffs and scrapes on the bumper. So we have to be okay with some of that. That's why insurance is out.
However, I did not, when I struggled, I did not turn to my 81-year-old grandmother with one eye and say, why don't you take the wheel, okay? Because I had to learn myself at some point. And we didn't have a future with Grandma driving us around.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, we gotta live through some of this.
You said heart attack for 500 football. Well, 500 is much better than this team's done for a long time around here. So, come on.
Next week is critical, though. Next week.
Oh, you going must win on us?
I think this one was critical.
This one was. This one, I talked about the competitive maturity. Like, you're supposed to take care of business against this team.
At home.
Like, you're supposed to do
Legends weekend.
Division game, like,
everything.
hey, it's gonna, like that, the Legends thing, they don't care about us standing
Yeah,
out there with our white
but
polos.
anyway.
These
old guys.
Right. Yeah, look at the old guys. Like, no, they're not playing for us. But that was a big one. But this week is different because we won at home. And they're coming off that, whatever that was on Thursday night that we witnessed. But I can't say because we
it's a win.
Yeah, so we slogged through it. So now we got to go on the road and do this. But if we get that one, it makes up for giving this one away.
All right. You don't get this one back.
No,
this is a home division loss that you should have won, period. Now, look, it may not cost them anything, but to me, even if you win next week, this doesn't make up for this one.
Well, it's two of them because the Washington game I feel like the same way. Like we're giving away two, but this one today was. Ugh.
Final score, 13-6, Texans over the Jaguars. That's it for the Scoreboard Show. Bucky, have a great week. We'll talk to you along the line Wednesday on Huddle Up.
Safe travels.
Okay, safe travels. See if I can get some car lessons in. Drive.
Yeah, keep it between
Don't call
the lines.
my grandmother.
Yeah, that's Bucky Brooks. Mike, we'll hear you tomorrow on Jaguars Today.
Yes, you will, along with Tony Smith and David Garrard recapping. Well, you saw it.
Yeah, I was here. And then tomorrow morning is Jags Drive Time with Ashlyn Sullivan, Brian Sexton, and John Ozier. Tomorrow afternoon, Jaguars Happy Hour. Pete Frisco and Tony Baselli.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one.
I'm sure they'll have some things to say about this game tomorrow afternoon. Fifth quarter is next. Thanks for listening.